Hello, and this is the Paul and Stephen podcast, the first of 2025. I would like to introduce my partner, Mr. Stephen Leckie. Stephen?
Yes, good day. This is Stephen Leckie, Associate Director, House & House. Been in Dubai for 21 years now.
Yes, 21 years.
22 years. Can you believe it? What about you? How long have you been
I've been here, I moved here September 2005. I actually started at Dubai Luxury Homes on the 1st of September 2025. I moved here on August the 18th, and you were sitting at the desk opposite.
It was sort of end of July.
And we sort of looked at each other across the room.
Yeah.
And we could see that there was something going on between us.
Yes.
Luckily, it was just doing real estate deals.
Yeah.
But, we could have led to anything.
Yeah. And nothing's ever happened, ever.
Do you remember that party in 2007? No, you don't.
One with the camel?
No, the other one.
No.
Yeah, it's a good job you don't remember it.
No.
Okay, we better not talk about that anymore because we won't be allowed to.
Anyway,
we won't be able to live in Dubai.
What are you going to talk about today?
I thought what we talk about today is first of all 2024. So I think that we can all safely say that all of the big news stories of 2024 went to Dubai's favour. So obviously the US elections with Trump winning and the cryptos, the German election, the French election, the UK elections. It's made the Europeans and the Brits a little bit more upset about everything, about crime, about tax, about too much immigration. They're not very happy, really. So when you look at 2024, we do feel that there were people waiting to see what's going to happen with the world's events, and people were waiting. I think we've passed 2024, and from what I'm seeing, and I'm going to pass on to you, Stephen, 2025 is looking extremely promising and quite exciting. Stephen?
I couldn't agree with you more. Look, we've been doing this for a while now, and it sounds like a broken record, but last year was amazing, and this year so far has started off very well indeed. And again, more and more people are coming to me saying, I'm moving my family, I'm moving my parents, my kids are changing schools. We put our kids into the schools, etc. We put their name down. Maybe for 3 years' time, they're putting their kids in to schools. They just had babies. They want to move over here, and they're coming over here. And a lot of young guys, certainly from our point of view, even in this company, people are joining us in droves at the moment.
Yeah,
mainly from the UK, Australia. Where else are they coming from?
I think what I've seen is that the people who are moving to Dubai now that I saw last year from sort of my circle, they were people who just a few years ago would never ever have left the UK. I know for sure they would have gone to the same pub, they'd have gone to the same restaurant, they probably would have had the same holiday in Spain or the south of France every year, and they'd have been quite content. I'm seeing those people now, what they've seen over the last few years, whether it's in their own countries or what's going on around the world, and they're not best pleased, and they're not that satisfied, they're not that happy, they don't feel that safe. Those people are moving to Dubai now, whether they're city workers, whether they're IT people, or whether they just want to come to Dubai because they actually see opportunity in startups and things like that. It's just changed so much.
Obviously, we only speak to those people who don't want to live wherever they're living at the moment. We don't tend to, nobody phones me up and says, I'm really happy where I live and I don't want to live in Dubai and I'm not interested. Nobody does that. We get a few of those on our socials, some comments about some derogatory comments about, not necessarily about myself, but certainly about Dubai, etc. And they're just misinformed and trolls, basically.
Yeah.
But, I was out with some people yesterday. They actually said they've got no intention of coming to live here. They've got property portfolios in Scotland, and they're selling up, or they're certainly reducing their exposure because how difficult it is with tenants and banks and the laws and rules, etc. And they're bringing their money over here, and they're looking to invest sometimes for capital growth, maybe they're going to buy and sell, and certainly for yield because it's very attractive and it's, for all intents and purposes, a tax-free location.
Interestingly, there was a friend of mine I haven't seen for probably about 20 years, and I knew he was doing some developing, and he's doing 2 developments in Manchester at the moment. He came over to Dubai for the first time this week. He said to me he came over expecting a construction site, some nice parts of Dubai, expecting to see cranes absolutely everywhere and thinking it's never a place he'd look to buy. I'm actually meeting him today at 1 o'clock at the Atlantis, and they're looking to buy somewhere in Dubai now. Their first time in Dubai this week. They've just had a drive round, gone to a few different places, spoken to a lot of people, they said, and they said they can see now why people go on about Dubai like they do, which they never ever would have said before. It's just another example of people having these opinions of Dubai who have never been. And he said, Paul, he said, it's just blown us away. Absolutely blown us away. We thought it would be all right. We thought it would be a bit maybe garish or a bit over the top, but we just make the most of it. They just said it's so impressive, everything.
Your ex-financial services, etc., or whatever, trading.
City boy.
You're an
money broker.
Money broker. So I did a little walk, or not a little walk, it's quite a long walk actually, a couple of weeks ago, and I walked, I live in the financial district, as you know, and I walked around all the new development areas and the fenced off areas of Dubai International Financial Centre. I had no idea. I mean, I lived there, but I had no idea how large the expansion is. It's just absolutely, I would say it's probably tripling in size. Is that what you've heard, or something like
Well, I mean, these are stats that we've given before, but just a stat to remind people, at the beginning of 2021, there were 1,500 registered financial companies in DIFC. Now there's well over 6,000, and they're taking more applications for new financial companies. They're taking more than they've ever taken before. So it's just proof that we know the people, the bankers.
But that tells me these people are going to need offices, support staff, and homes.
Yeah. And they have money to spend.
Yes.
But touching on that, I mean, this will lead us on to the two areas that we've been looking at, Stephen, which we actually, this is a bit new for us as well. So we've got Old Dubai, Dira, where we've got Dubai Islands, we've got Maritime, and we've got Mina Rashid, ports, whatever, I know it's called something different every day.
No, it's Rashid Yachts and Marina.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have that in Old Dubai, the Dira end, a regeneration area, which is going to be brand new, massive amounts of infrastructure, new roads. Going into DIFC, we're looking at 20 to 30 minutes travel time, which is incredible. But
probably less than that.
We'll touch on that in a minute.
Less than
then
that.
we go right to the other end of Dubai, miss out the middle bit, which is still amazing. And we've got Palm Jebel Ali, we've got Expo, and we've got everything that Emar's going to be doing in the future.
Yes.
So the two opposite ends of Dubai, the middle's still exciting, but we've got two exciting ends now. I mean, when was this? When were we all saying this? Look here, look there. It's the old of Dubai. It's got something exciting about it.
It is.
Yes.
No, I mean, I'm just thinking about it. It's just
I'll give you an example. So I, as you know, I worked.
Going to put some mileage on my car.
Well, you will put some mileage on your car, but you'll be taking around clients, and they'll probably be, paying for your petrol.
Yes, that's true.
But I worked in the city for 10 years. The biggest, apart from the hours, 50-hour weeks, it was the commute. Getting on the tube or getting on the overground. That was always not working. It was a real, a grind. Now, to me, if you're looking at Maritime, or let's talk about Dubai Islands for a second. I love Dubai Islands. So to me, you can work in DIFC, a banker, broker, a stressful job, 10 hours a day. In less than 30 minutes, you can be back at your property, sitting on the beach with a drink, enjoying the sunset. Now, to me, that's a pretty good lifestyle. It's actually quite an amazing lifestyle. If London offered that, there'd be a lot more people in London. London doesn't offer that, but Dubai does. That's why Dubai is very attractive.
If you think about it, there's very few financial centres in the world that would offer such a thing. Maybe Hong Kong, possibly.
I agree with you on that. And the other thing that people don't mention, and I know this from my time and the people I'm speaking to in DIFC. So when they was in London or Europe, they had 10-hour desks to service as much as they could. Because they're in Dubai, because they're in the Middle East, they speak to Tokyo, Singapore, Hong Kong in the morning. They speak to Europe during the day. They speak to New York in the evening. So they've now got a 16-hour desk. So effectively, they obviously do time periods themselves. They stagger it. They're making more money now in Dubai in brokerage, in fees, because they've got a 16-hour desk. So they're making more money and they're paying no tax on it. So it's a double whammy for them.
So why are we talking about this? What difference is that going to make to people who may be listening to this overseas?
I think the difference it makes is that people now have come to realise that they're fed up paying over 50% in tax. They have no idea where it's going. They don't see it going to the NHS in the UK. They don't see where it's going in Germany or France. They're upset about it. They see opportunity here. They've got offices here. They can work from here. It's only a 3-hour difference in their day, or a 4-hour difference, depending on what time zone you're in. They can make a lot of money tax-free, and they can have an incredible lifestyle. And going back to Dubai Islands, if they want to, live on the beach in the evening. I can't think of anywhere that does offer that. And, you know, I've been to Singapore, I've been to New York, I've been to Hong Kong, these places. They're amazing. But Dubai, for everything, you know, because once again, we can go back to crime-free and very safe. You know, the people earning their money here, they can wear their $1 million watches. They're not going to get bumped on the head and that watch taken from them. They can buy their amazing cars.
I don't think the impression I get with lots of people is, yes, tax is a consideration when they're thinking about living in Dubai, but I don't know that that's really the only reason.
Not now.
The main reason people are coming here.
Crime's a big one.
It's crime, safety, number one, and also somewhere for their families to actually grow up in a civilized, well-planned, very safe, and beautiful weather most of the time, and
you could say the perfect environment apart from the summer.
Yeah,
couldn't you? Well, I mean, the weather's great for 6 months of the year. It's hot for 6 months of the year, but it's safe for the whole year. Yeah, but it's crime-free for the whole year.
Right. I don't know. There's 6 months is that unbearable. I think for me it's about 3 months, and I remember being in England in the winter. And
I will always take heat over cold, personally.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. Especially at my age. Yes. So I have a website, as you know, stephenleckie.com. Plug. But I gathered there were a lot of reports have been out in January in the press about the market in 2025 and what people think is going to happen. Sorry, the market in 2024 and what people think is going to happen or planning to happen in 2025. And I've sort of combined all those facts, sorted them all out, etc. Thank you, ChatGPT. And I've got a few stats that I think are quite interesting.
Thank you.
So, again, this is from companies like Property Monitor, like Value Strat, and a couple of very well-known, highly regarded international real estate valuers stroke companies. And this sort of thing they're saying. So record-setting population growth last year, 170,000 people came into the country, new people came into the country. And I know that Simon has gone about this, Simon Baker. So it's 4 people per property, 170 divided by 4, you're the mathematician. That's how many houses are required for last year, or new properties for people to move into. The real estate market in Dubai witnessed 31.6% increase in villa prices and a 23.6% rise in apartment prices in 2025. I don't know how true that is, and I would say that that's probably a combination of completed and off-plan properties. I'm not sure that I would put those, they're not all completed properties.
And let's be honest, the stats for completed properties, they do vary depending on which source you go to.
Absolutely. Not only that, they would range significantly from certain areas as well. There are certain areas of Dubai which I would say over the last 12 months have not gone up in value. And if you want to know what those areas are, best to get in touch with Paul and I. We're not probably going to talk about it. What else? Slight decrease in off-plan sales. And hospitality sector, they 78% occupancy rate, which apparently is, I don't know much about hotels, but I'm told on the articles I've written that is sort of world-beating occupancy rates. Yeah, 78%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, anywhere in Europe, it's quite seasonal. Here.
Oh, so 78% for the 12 months?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah,
so, which
is amazing because you think about it, in Dubai years ago, it was only the mad people and the Russians who'd come in August, because they thought that 50 degrees was great, and they'd come then. But most people wouldn't touch Dubai June, July, August, September.
Yes,
so you wouldn't get that occupancy rate. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. What else? GDP growth forecast for 2025. What do you think that is?
I think it's going to be massive, and I think there's going to be a surplus, and I think he's going to reinvest that money into Dubai to make it a better place to live for everyone.
6%.
Wow.
I mean, what country in the world is talking about 6%?
If they've got 6%, and we know that the government will invest a large proportion of that money back into the Dubai market, back into Dubai infrastructure. We know he's going to do that. It's very nice to hear that.
So one of the big issues that I'm reading as well about, included in these stats, is the fact that we talked about it, DIFC expanding, etc., is the lack of grade A office space in Dubai. We know from our own experiences, when a lot of these buildings were built in Business Bay, for instance, they were sold to individual investors. So you would have a 600,000 square foot office sold to an individual investor, and the likes of the big banks or the big law firms or any large company now is struggling to find high quality office accommodation where there is one landlord for an entire floor or 2 or 3 floors. There really is a big shortage. So although you and I are not involved in commercial property, I think that would be I don't know about investment strategy because I don't know what the yields are, but I'd certainly be thinking about that. And a lot of people I'm talking to, especially from the UK, a lot of their investments are in commercial property, whether they be shops, retail, warehousing, or office space. And in fact, the guys yesterday I was talking to from Scotland, he has office space. He said he just can't rent it out at the moment. Really? In Edinburgh and Glasgow, everybody's working from home still. No one needs more office space. Whereas here, and that's what prompted this sort of thought in my head. Here, of course, everybody's working in the office. No one's working from home, are they?
Yeah, I mean, probably the people back there, they're probably scared to leave their houses.
No, he said safety is really not a problem at all.
Well, there's no one around there, is there?
24,000 new businesses were registered in Dubai in the first half of 2024. I mean,
24,000?
24,000
in the first 6 months. That could, if you want to take the average, that could be 50,000 40 to 50,000 over the year.
Yes,
yeah, and it would probably continue again this year, if not greater.
Can you imagine? I mean, okay, some of those might be one-man bands or something, but those are a lot of people from overseas coming here and creating opportunities for other people, and those other people will then come here to work here.
I'll tell a quick little story about where Dubai has changed. Like, so years ago, people would come over here, whether it was oil and gas, whether it was teaching, it could have been property, whatever it was. They get a 3-year contract or a 5-year contract or whatever. Anyway, once that contract was up, that person didn't think, oh, I love Dubai, I want to stay here, I'm going to find another job. They'd just go back to their own country. 9 out of 10 people would, at least. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Now I know this because my sons and all the boys I see in their 20s, etc. People are now actually coming to Dubai to look for a job. If someone lives in Dubai, whether they've lived there all their life or just a couple of years, and they lose their job, they then just look for another job in Dubai. They've got no interest at all in returning to their own country. That never used to happen. That is completely normal now.
I remember talking about that. I remember when, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 years ago, maybe it's longer, when the government announced these retirement visas, and everybody said, who wants to retire in Dubai?
Yeah. I'm going to. And you're going to.
I'm going to. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to retire, Paul. I know, I can't afford to. But anyway, I don't want to retire. But anyway, retirement visas, people are now, yes, people who are working here, living here at the moment, maybe they will retire. But I am talking to more and more people from overseas who are considering retiring here. Yeah. They haven't even worked here. They might have come here a few times on holiday, but this is their new retirement home.
Okay, so what I've got, which is on the same thing as you're saying, but different, and it's quite interesting because it relates to me as well. So I've dealt with a couple.
Anything relates to you has got to be interesting, Paul.
Okay, there could be a few interesting things we can't talk about though. So I've been dealing with 2 guys in their 50s. They've actually both worked in Dubai or the UAE for the last 15, 20 years, both from the UK. And what their plan is, they've both bought apartments. They both one bought a 2-bed plus maids, one bought a 3-bed apartment. They want to spend 6 months here. They're about to retire in the next couple of years. So the idea is 6 months Dubai, 3 to 4 months Europe, whether the UK or Spain or whatever, because that's what I'm thinking of doing. And then maybe 1 or 2 months balance in Thailand. So that's not a bad retirement plan, is it really? Now I'm speaking to more and more people in their 50s who are saying that. Dubai 6 months, whether it's UK, France, Spain or whatever, 3 or 4 months, Thailand 2 or 3 months. That's going to be my year.
I have a similar plan, yes. But Europe does not exist in my plan.
You won't go back at all? See, but I
go to visit.
I still have a love affair with Marbella, you see. Yes. So
I don't know. I'm in there. No.
Yeah.
I'll go and visit for a weekend.
But yeah, well, for you, you'd be more going east, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Hong Kong, Thailand,
Vietnam.
Yeah, but that's my plan. See, because For the last couple of years, we've been going back west for our holidays. We're actually going east in April. We're going to Phuket.
Are you?
Yes.
I'm going to Phuket at the end of the year, aren't I?
Yeah,
September.
But for the next 2 years, I want to do all east. I want to do Philippines. I want to do Japan, Tokyo, and a few more of the Thailand islands. Because we're halfway there, Stephen. So why not?
We are halfway there. Well, it's 9 hours max to get there. Brilliant.
Right, so now
you're going to talk about
2025 and what we think is going to happen.
Go on then.
I don't know what's going to happen, but this is what I think is going to happen.
Go on ahead.
I'll give a couple of examples. So I've got friends who've lived here. One's lived here for 14 years. He moved here in 2010, so maybe 15 years nearly. He always said to me, Paul, I'd only ever buy a home in Dubai. I'd never invest in Dubai. He's got a lot of property in the UK. I had another guy, he'd been here probably 7 or 8 years, very happy here, but he wouldn't buy investment property here, just didn't trust it. Anyway, towards the end of last year, one of the guy who's been here 14 years, who I never thought would ever say it, he called me up and said, Paul, okay, you've got me now. I'm going to start buying townhouses 2025. Where should I buy? The other guy, very, very similar. So this is people who know Dubai. Right, so they've seen the change, they've witnessed everything firsthand. They wouldn't have bought 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but they're buying 2025. That's a phenomenon that's going to happen this year.
Why weren't they buying 5 or 6 years ago?
They didn't have the trust or the faith in the Dubai market at that time.
And what has changed?
The regulations, the population, the trust, the professionalism, the quality, everything is on another level to what it used to be 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah. I have to say, I took a client from a very old client of mine, actually. I've been dealing with him for maybe 10 or 12 years. And he's been buying property just for yield. And he's now thinking about, well, he is not even thinking about it. He's going to come and live in Dubai. And he was thinking about, right, he's bought a villa, but it's not going to be ready for 2 or 3 years. So he's looking at maybe just a small townhouse for him to live in, which he can then maybe rent out when I took him to Ranches 3. I don't know if you've been there. It's just, I'm sorry, but it's like a holiday. It's like a holiday resort. The swimming pool, the lazy river for the kids, the gym, the supermarket is all there. The community centre hasn't opened yet, but
it's lovely living.
Seriously,
Emaar community living.
As he says, he's got a young son. He says, I can let my son go with the nanny or whatever, or not, because there's lifeguards and everything. He wouldn't come home until it's dark.
Yeah.
You could drop him off at 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and he would spend all day in this park, everything. I mean, where in the world can you do that? I don't know. And be safe. That's the important thing.
Well, I'll rewind a bit, but this, from my personal experience, we left Dubai in 2012, and I went to New York briefly, but then we moved back to London, got the boys into a school in London, into a good school in London, and we lasted 9 months. Before we knew it was a bad decision, and we moved back to Dubai and got the kids back into Jess Ranches because they hadn't taken back the debentures, and that saved us. But we experienced it and we knew it was a wrong decision.
I did the same thing, didn't I? 2011, 2012?
Yeah.
6 months, 3 months I knew, and everybody said, no, you've got to stick at it another year, you can stick at it for a year, and I just said, no way. I was back here 9 months later. Yeah. The only thing I hadn't done is close my bank accounts here, so that was the easy thing. It was easy just to come back here. You mentioned that your client or friend who said he's now buying houses and he can buy townhouses. Yep. What do you think of? What's he going to buy?
To be honest, let's think about this rationally. If you were to buy townhouses, it's probably the safest investment you can get, or a villa. But it's also one of the most boring. It is. It's a very safe investment. It's going to be an aggressive payment plan, and it will go up in price. So that's what the safe investor would do. But if you want something more exciting, I'd be looking at beachfront properties like Dubai Islands, like Maritime, with a good payment plan, near to the financial districts, which we've discussed, which are growing exponentially. There's a lot of exciting things out there. But you've got the choice to take the safe route, or let's go for a bit of risk. That's what I love about Dubai. You've got high risk and you've got low risk now. It only ever used to be very high risk. We can offer all these different options now, depending on how the client's thinking.
This is true. We haven't spoken about Expo, because we love Expo.
We love Expo, and we went there last week. Amazing, huh?
It's amazing what they're doing.
Yeah,
they just keep surpassing themselves with these offerings. So basically, just so that anybody wants to know, it's called Al Waha District. It is where the country,
right in the centre.
Yeah, where it is, where all the cars are underground. It's actually right by the Alif Pavilion, which is a permanent structure, which I understand there's a very good chance that some very famous company, world-renowned company, is going to take that over and put it in their offices.
I mean, these Al Waha is literally 3-4 minute walk from Wassel Dome, isn't it?
Yeah, and 3 or 4. It's like 2 minutes walk from the exhibition centre.
The heartbeat, the centre.
Yes, yes. And what they've done is they've taken these boring-looking country pavilions,
G+1, G+2 structures.
Exactly, and they're going to pull out the insides and create these amazing loft apartments, which we have never seen the likes of in Dubai
It's a
before.
unique offering for anywhere in the world. It just happens to be Expo in Dubai, but it is amazing.
Yeah, if it was anywhere in Dubai, we'd be going crazy about it. The fact that it's in Expo is even better reason for buying there. And then people say, oh, it's 2,500 dirhams a square foot. Isn't that high? And my answer to them is, no way is that a lot of money. This is the downtown of the south of Dubai.
Yeah.
And if people have any doubts about the south of Dubai, well,
They should read. They should look at this area where there's going to be some planes landing.
Yeah,
they should maybe look around there.
Look, as I've said a number of times, I don't believe that the airport is a good enough reason to invest in south of Dubai. I think the ancillary businesses that are going to be connected to that airport, all the logistics companies that are down that way, the bonded warehousing, the light industrial, the offices, anybody that's involved in the travel industry, anybody that's involved in the tourism industry, and anybody that has their offices in Expo City is going to want somewhere to live. Now, there are places in Dubai South at the moment which I think probably would appeal to the blue-collar workers. Maybe they're not going to own occupiers, but they're certainly going to rent there. And then you have the likes of Siemens, Energis, and people like DB World. Where are those execs going to live, those executives? Expo City is the only choice, unless they want to live in a townhouse or villa, which EMA are producing quite close by.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you agree?
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, I'm what you've just said about Expo in that area, that just sums it up. So we've got Expo, we've got the new airport, we've got Palm Jebel Ali, you've got the Jebel Ali port, you've got what EMA's doing. It's exciting. It's the future. We know that. But then we go back right to the old Dubai and Dira, maritime city, Dubai Islands, Mina Rashid and ports, loads of infrastructure. That's exciting, but the complete opposite of Expo. And you think you could present those options to a client, which couldn't be more different, but they're both really good.
Do you want to live on the beach, or do you want to live in the city?
Yeah,
that's it. They're both going to be easy to get to and out of. There's no restrictions on infrastructure. They're both developed by extremely good developers. I don't know. There's no negative. They're even cost similar prices actually.
Yeah.
If you look at price per square foot, and even prices of the actual apartments, they're very similarly priced, similar payment plans, and similar delivery times. Yeah, there's good choices, some very good choices. I mean, I think we definitely can agree that the centre of Dubai is Dubai Hills Estate. That's still some very interesting things going on there. And then you've got this north and south, as you say, north, south, and central. It must be difficult for people coming here and actually making their mind up where they want to live.
I mean, I don't like to say this, but I will say this. I mean, it takes some understanding. You have to sit down and explain to someone Dubai and what's going on in these different areas, and but also as well have like this open mind that the excitement of being able to invest into this market, and then to have these choices. It's not like, well, that's your choice, either these apartments or these villas. It's like, we've got something here, we've got something here. They're the complete opposite of each other. They both offer amazing things, but which are completely different. What do you like?
Yeah.
And then it's down to the client. It's their money.
The Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
1,300 dirhams a square foot for a townhouse in Dubai.
Yeah. EMA as well.
Who would have thought?
And see, and interestingly, the Valley isn't south of Dubai. That is towards the older part of Dubai.
Yeah.
So it just shows it's going on everywhere in Dubai.
It is. It's amazing. Paul, It's always good to talk to you. We don't talk very much at the moment because we're both very busy.
Talk very much at the moment because we're so busy, Stephen.
Yes.
But we're just strapping ourselves in for the year. It's going to be exciting. We're ready for it. Let's go.
I haven't thought of it like that. But thank you very much.
Thank
you for everybody for listening and staying
very
with us this far.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wait for the next one.
Yes, it'll be soon. Bye.
Cheers.